Hey guys, this is Tyler McKinney. I wanted to take a moment and I wanted to show you guys something cool that I've kind of done a few times and it works out pretty well. But what it is it's taken in your Line 6 HD500 and using the amp modeling on it, but also being able to use it for like in-ear monitors. Obviously, they're not going to be wireless, but you're still going to be able to have in-ears and be able to use them. So this is pretty cool. What you're going to do is you're just going to take a line level of the monitor mix that you want to send to your HD500, and you're gonna take just a quarter inch. Just a quarter inch that you're going to plug into your HD500, and we'll get to that when we get there. So first, what I'm going to do is we're going to use the HD500 edit here. So we're going to use the Pod HD500 edit. So we're going to open that up. If you do like it, these are pictures of my girls on here that I have on my screen. I probably should change that. But hold on here one second. Okay, so we're now in the Pod HD500, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically set it up and show you how I do that to get it set up so that you can use it as in-ear monitors with that. And you guys who are wondering about the limiting and all that stuff and all that, I'll hit that up here in just a second. So let's go ahead and start moving some things around here before we get started. So let's go ahead and let's take this amp and let's move this amp up here to the first channel. What we're doing is we're creating the right and the left with that. And so that's kind of what I want to do. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of my effects that I'm going to use for like my channel and move them all up to the first channel with that. And then, my other effects, I'm going to move them all up to, the first channel or side A, however you want to call it. So I'm going to do that. Now this last one, what I'm going to do with it is I'm going to do something a little different, and this is how I kind of create the HD500 setup as in-ear monitors. You can do it one of two ways. First way that you can do it, which won't be the way that I'll be showing you here, but it'll be the first way, is we'll go over here to this input, and we're going to change your inputs. And the first one will obviously be your guitar, so you're going to have that. And I usually always just use auto. Just seems to be the easiest way. But a lot of times what will happen is you have the guys. I usually leave it as Variax as my second one. I don't play with the Variax. But that seems to be, the best situation for your second input source. Now what you can use is you can use your second input source as your auxiliary. And so you can do that, and with everything set up this way, that'll work just fine for you, and it'll work out okay. And if you want to, what you can do is you can just take this effect, and you can move it in here to right behind this amp slot here. What we'll do is we'll move it right in here, right behind it. And then what you can do is you can, if you're going to use it like this, you can go in, worried about the limiting and all stuff like that, go in here, go into Dynamics. What we're going to do is we're going to actually create just, you can use any type of the compressors that they have. But let's look at the tube comp. So we'll go ahead and we'll use this one. So you can go ahead and you can set your threshold wherever you want your threshold to be on it. And then you can also set your level so that, it'll never go over that limit. So if you're worried about, limiting the signal that's coming in and, hurting your ears and things of that nature, you can just go ahead and set a tube comp on that, and that'll pretty much take care of that and handle that for you. You're getting those loud sounds or things like that with it. So that will help there with that. Now you can do that if you want to do it that way. Now I don't normally do that, so I'm going to switch that back to the Variax. And the way that I like to use it is I go in here and I go, instead of this being a tube comp, what I do is I switch this, and I switch this to an effects loop. Now what I do with the effects loop is I take in, because I don't want any send in it because I'm not sending anything to it. But what I'm doing is I'm taking the return back from it. And that's cool because if you want, you can actually take a stereo in with this. So you can, take the left and the right in, and it'll bring it into this channel here. So what I do is just do that and take your mix to full with it, and then what you can do is here on the return is you can set this level then is do a dB gain boost or dB reduction with it, and you can take that and boost that signal to whatever volume you want. So you have, I think it's 24 dB of volume gain that you can add to it. So yeah, so you have that. So we can do that with it, which is pretty cool. So that's how I usually set it up. And like I said, if you want to, you can add another effect in here. So I could take this effect down here, and I could just add back in, a tube comp or whatever I want to do. So, but I'm going to move that back up here for right now. All right, now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the mixer. And the cool thing with the mixer is that, this is where all of that work happens, and, how you're going to get it to use it as like a monitor. See, the problem is that you've got a left and a right signal. So you stereo guys, unfortunately, this won't help you out. So if you're running it in stereo, I should have said this earlier, but just disregard this if you're using it in stereo, because this isn't going to help you. Because what we're going to be doing is we're going to use path A as a signal that's going to be going to the house, and then path B is going to be the signal that we're going to be monitoring with our headphones. So what we're going to do is our path A, which is our left, we're going to take that and we're going to make that center. What that's doing is it's going to be sending it both, path A, both to the left and to the right in our headphones. And also the left and the right or the out. And the thing is see, we're sending the left directly to the house. Well, we don't want the monitor going back into the house. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this right, and our monitor mix is only going to be coming out of the right. So we've got it panned hard right here. And then what we're going to do is just adjust the levels of whatever we want to get the levels correct where we need them, to sit right in the mix and everything like that, and then you can save it. So pretty much inside the HD500, that's pretty much it. Now the next thing that you can do with it is actually on the HD500 itself. What you're going to do is that 1/4 inch that we were talking about. In my case, you're going to plug it into the effects return, and you're going to turn into the effects return left or right. It doesn't matter. Or if you got a stereo, you can plug it right into both. You can do that, and then that's going to get your signal in. Now, if you want to do it like the auxiliary in way, you just plug it into the auxiliary in on your HD500. Now, what we're going to do is talk about the headphones, because if you just use a regular headphone, just plug regular headphones into the headphone out and then put them on, you're only going to hear things out of the right. Which, for some of you guys, might be cool. You like it that way. I mean, some people like to keep one ear in and then the other out so they can still hear, the audience. They like the live feel. Or they still have, powered speakers on stage to where they like to hear out of those two as well. And that's fine. So you could just leave it the one in there. Now, if you want to hear it out of both, though, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to get an actual splitter. And you're going to take, what you're going to do is you're going to take, and you're going to split the signal to where it comes out, to where it's left and right. And then you're just going to take the right side. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take those signals, the signal on the right, you're going to split it. And then you're going to take a connector, and that takes it from a left and a right, and it takes it down into a stereo signal again, like a stereo headphone jack that you can plug your headphones into, and pretty much then duplicates the right so that the right can be played through the left and the right ear. And there you go. There you have it. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. If you're having trouble with a connector or how to get the right signal to play in both headphones, you can leave me a message, give me a comment down there, and I will take care of that. But pretty much other than that, that's pretty much about it. Like I said, if you have any questions about it, I've done it a couple times, and it works pretty well with it. Been pretty happy with it. If you have any other questions about, what all else I do with it or whatever, or anything like that, just let me know. I'll probably be posting some other videos here, so be looking for those. So, thanks. And have a good one, guys. Thanks. Bye.